Hey there folks, Donna here. I know I haven't made a video in quite a while, and honestly it's because I haven't had very many changes going on with the topic that you guys come here for, which is dentures and information about their providers and products to use and that kind of thing. I've stuck with pretty much the same routine. I've considered going with other systems and solutions like All-on-4 and different materials and that kind of thing. But it turns out that the expense for those things is just too great for me right now. For those tuning in that are familiar with my content, there is going to be a little bit of a content shift on this channel. I'm here to talk about dentures because I'm actually making a change. I'm changing providers. It's time for a new set. Moving forward, we're going to do some crafting, and not necessarily just crafting, but soap making and bath and body and skincare products. So stay tuned for that. I can't just leave this channel, sit here and do nothing. In the meantime, I wanted to address a problem that I am having with my service provider. If you've been following along, in 2018, I had 25 extractions and went through experiences with a mail to order, let's say, denture service, as well as with affordable dentures and implants in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Dr. Cannon's practice for affordable dentures and implants in Tulsa, Oklahoma provided me with really great care. They treated me like a person with needs, with knowledge and information when I would demonstrate that I had knowledge and information. I was an advocate for myself, but I didn't have to advocate too hard on too many things. And once I started acquiring knowledge and asking questions appropriate to someone with industry knowledge, I got included on a whole lot more of processes and decision making and that kind of thing. A really good overall experience with them. In April of 2021, we moved to Iowa, to the Des Moines metro area, and the affordable dentures here, all I've ever asked of them is to honor my warranty for repairs and to help me with upkeep, because I do have 2 lower implants because my lower denture is implant retained. And so every so often, typically every 6 months to 1 year, the little retainer caps, the little silicone caps that are inside nylon, whatever they're made of, need to be replaced. I will tell you that affordable dentures and implants practices are franchise practices. So what affordable dentures and implants does from practice to practice is they provide site selection and facility management, advertising and marketing, IT services, financial services, real estate and equipment upgrades, access to training and continued education for those on staff, operations, consulting, so someone there to ask questions and give advice, equipment and technology, including root form implants and 3D cone beam imaging, call center and online appointment scheduling. Okay, what I'm finding outside of what Affordable Care offers to their affordable dentures and implants affiliated practices, things can vary greatly from one practice to another. I don't even know the doctor's name that owns the practice that I've been visiting once or twice per year since I moved here. So that speaks volumes, number one. They've been through 2 front desk girls where the office in Tulsa is still running with my favorite no-nonsense girl at the helm over there. 6 years after having my stuff done, because I had everything done. Charlie was either very, very small or just not quite born yet. I want to say it was not quite born yet because I had things done in March of 2018 and she was born in June of 2018. My teeth were a couple months old when my granddaughter was born. What I'm finding is different. Number one is implant systems that they use, hardware that they use, teeth that they use, materials in general. They are not using at the West Des Moines practice the same implant system, the same hardware system as what I had installed when I had my denture package done in Tulsa. And so even though they have had Dr. Cannon's practice's phone number, contact information, direct number to the office. Don't even have to go through the call center because I had that information for them. And we're able to contact and get hardware information, replacement bits, parts, accessories, information, and all of that. 3 times now, they have ordered the wrong retainer caps for up inside of my snap-ons. And so my lower denture will move if I speak in too animated of a manner, as I eat. And for those of you that don't have an implant retained lower denture, you're probably sitting there going, oh, boo-hoo, I deal with that all day, every day. Well, sure you do. But I paid money to make sure that I do not. I want for my hardware that I paid $2,500 or better to have installed to function according to the way it was designed to function. And that includes getting the correct caps to snap it into place. I've gone twice in 2 weeks and this sumbitch doesn't snap. I could smile too big and it would hop up. So that's a problem. Then I find out, because it is time for replacement set, my insurance will cover new dentures outside of every 5 years. They'll pay for 50%. And I don't need extractions this time around. I don't need, a lot of extra funky. I don't need immediate dentures followed by a permanent replacement set. I can just do the highest tier, like what I did. If I go with one of these big box practices like Aspen Dental or Affordable Dentures and Implants, and get a decent quality acrylic denture with the polyresin teeth or whatever it is that they're using now. I can do that and just have one set that'll last me maybe the next 5 to 7 years. They do offer a 7-year warranty. Insurance will replace them every 5. I went through a period of time after the 1-year mark where I was dropping a tooth, and I mean it would separate and pop out of the denture once every month or 2. And I actually just had that happen again 2 weeks ago, right after my dental visit, which was very strange to me. The timing was just very screwy on that. So I kind of don't want that experience again. So I have this list. And besides the point, Affordable Dentures and Implants is not in network for my insurance. I have Aetna dental insurance through my husband's work, and they are not part of that. So I don't know what reimbursement looks like for out of network. I don't know what coverage differences are for out of network. Whenever I made the appointment to go get impressions done to have a replacement set done, because these are just, the back teeth are very flat. They're worn down. I'm not able to eat certain textures of meat. I can't. Today I tried to eat a toasted sourdough breakfast sandwich for breakfast, and I could not bite through the toasted crust on the bread. Like, time for new teeth. Like, these teeth are not doing anything much more than cosmetic for me right now. And cosmetics are cool, but a bitch be hungry. Okay, clearly I've been trying to lose some weight because I've been eating trash food because it's the easiest to eat. Mechanically speaking, physically speaking, it is easier for me to eat a cheeseburger from McDonald's than a pork chop that I make at home. And fish is expensive in Iowa because I don't live on a coastline. So there's that. So when I made the appointment for impressions and for the new set, they're going to rush through everything in a day, like they typically do whenever you're there getting, bad natural teeth replaced with the immediate denture. It all takes less than 12 hours. Maybe that's why my teeth would fall out of the denture, fall out of the acrylic after just a year of use. And to be fair, I'm kind of hard on them. I chomp on crushed ice cubes and stuff like that, but still. So the process of getting all that done is going to take less than 12 hours. I'm not real sure what kind of quality can come out of that. I'm not in a hurry. I would like for someone to take a little time and put a little artistry into gum lines and making sure that teeth aren't too tall, like these. and that you can't see through where the gum line comes down to, because that's not natural. I would like some more attention to detail than what I got with the permanent set that I have now. Because while cosmetics aren't number one, they do kind of matter, especially for $3,000 for a set of dentures. Like, let's get a little artistry in there. So that's an issue. And then I had to ask after the appointment was set if they accepted my insurance, because I've just been going back for replacement, or going to them for replacement pieces for my lower denture, which are not covered by the insurance. And I get that. It's like regular maintenance or whatever. And so I've been paying $60 a pop, $30 a cap, right? They looked it up and they said, no, we're out of network for Aetna. We'll see you on such and such a day. I have more questions, but there's someone standing in line behind me that they're in a hurry to get to. So that just smacks of money grab to me. And they don't necessarily care if I can afford it. Like, I can appreciate that they don't want to assume and be like, are you okay to pay for it? Like, it's going to cost this much up front. Like, financing options weren't discussed and nobody asked me if I needed them. Nobody let me know anything about pricing for someone who's paying out of pocket versus someone who has insurance. And I know that's a thing because I've had doctor's offices do that when we happen to be traveling and there's no in-network doctor. So it was just a real lack of concern for me as a person. And it just told me, you know, they gonna get their money one way or another. And so it was really off-putting. And then today, when I went back in, because the first time this year, 2 weeks ago, that I went to have my little cappy doos replaced, they had ordered the wrong ones. And I let them know, and I showed them I could just pop it out with a quick little bit of pressure on one side for my tongue, which is they're meant to snap in. No snap. And they're like, oh no, well, obviously you're not going to be paying for this set. I'm like, nope, I'm sure not. So they sent me on my way, asked me again for Dr. Cannon's dental practice contact information, and made me wait another week while they contacted Dr. Cannon's office and ordered the correct pieces. I get there today. They changed them out. They are still wrong. No snap. They don't sit correctly in the first place. They don't snap in. They move around everywhere. She tried to say, well, I mean, you're coming in tomorrow for impressions anyway, and a new set anyway, so this should hold you over until tomorrow. Bitch, I'm not paying $60 for something to hold me over until tomorrow. That's a cash grab. I didn't say that to her. What happened was I felt taken advantage of. I felt like I didn't matter as long as they got their bag. And I was in tears. I didn't have a fit, cry, or anything, but I had tears in my eyes. And I said, thank you for your help. And she says, well, can I just go ahead and maybe get the impressions while you're here? And I'm like, no, I don't have time. Y'all kept me waiting for 35 minutes when this is typically a 5-minute appointment. And now I don't have time. And so I didn't wait for her to hand me my little piece of paper before I went up front. I just went up front. And I gave the girl my name, and she says, well, I need the paper. I said, no, you can pull me up, and I'm going to pay now. It's $60, right? Plus tax. Here's my card. Run this, please. And she just looked at me, and she's like, okay. And I said, she's like, well, let me go. Just wait for a minute. Let me get you a receipt. I said, no, I don't need a receipt. Go ahead and cancel, because I had rescheduled the impressions and stuff for like April 11th. And I said, go ahead and cancel me for April, please. Have a good day. And I left, and I cried the whole way across the parking lot to the car, because their concern was not for making sure for contact. I feel like they didn't even contact my Dr. Cannon's office, because this is 3-4 times now that I have had to deal with incorrect hardware. Like, there's no reason to. They order it from Dentsply. I could get the part number and order it from Dentsply myself. I just don't know how to put it in. I felt like a number with a dollar sign in front of it instead of a human being after leaving a care provider that is supposed to provide you with some level of care. And you would think that that would be care of the whole human and not just care of providing a product for a price. For a medical or dental provider to miss that just really made me sad. Especially since it was me. Like, I hate to hear about it from anybody, but I've never had that experience. I've been treated like shit by a lot of customer service agents over the years, but never with my primary care physician or my primary dental provider. It's just bad. So I have an email list that our insurance provider sent to my husband and he forwarded to me. And I will be digging through it for every provider in my area that is not a big box provider. I share my experience to let you know that if you are going to move forward with having your teeth extracted and you're, thinking about getting dentures and fixing your smile and making it so that you can eat and be mouth healthy, I would like to implore you, like I always have, to do your research. Take into consideration if your living arrangement is not as permanent as the rest of your life, because I'm finding that it would be so much easier for me to just deal with Dr. Cannon until Dr. Cannon is done practicing and then deal with whoever takes over his practice. But I moved, and I guess they weren't ready for me because I sure as hell wasn't ready for them. So I would implore you to consider, before you go to a big box place or before you go to a provider, to make sure that if it's a big box place like Affordable Dentures and Implants or Aspen Dental, make sure that they are following the same, they're getting their hardware and their supplies and things from similar sources, at least regionally, in your area. And you can ask those questions, and some of them will tell you, like, yeah, like, just let them know, like, hey, I'm afraid of running into trouble if I have to move. If I have to, change providers, can you assure me that this is not going to be an issue? Ask that question. When you look for a new provider after you've already started with an old one, ask questions then too. I thought I had asked the correct questions of the West Des Moines Affordable Dentures and Implants, and I did not, apparently. First one being, does my insurance cover you? Do you accept my insurance? I had asked, oh, we accept most insurances. And I'm thinking, well, Aetna's pretty big. That's probably part of most. If you have existing hardware, let them know and ask them, can you service this hardware? Like, there's just so much. Now I have to find another provider, and I'm not just going for implant caps this time. I'm getting a whole new set of dentures done. I will make an update video or two. I will try to find somebody that will let me film inside of their practice, and maybe we'll do an interview and explain, some of the stuff about the processes. I'm sure some things have changed over the last 6 years since I first went through and vlogged every single day, my first year of experience with this. So if you have new questions or concerns or anything, put them in the comment section. More dental content, and so making bath and body making content is coming too. So you'll start to see a variety of things from this channel, but I'm definitely picking it back up. And I'm sorry that I've been away for so long. I'll try to get your comments, but I absolutely run a business with 3 locations for someone else and my own business as well. So I'm very short on time most of the time. But I'll get to things as I can. I hope everybody has a safe and wonderful day, and keep smiling.